Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark and Sarah today. Pam's still away, but she'll be back here in a couple days.
Yay!
Reminder, folks, we are off tomorrow and then back on Thursday. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI,
the best plumbers around.
Also brought to you by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com, and remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
Coming up in just a bit, we are going to be talking to Andelena Henderson, the owner of West Paris Provisions, and as you will find out, so much more. Wonderful human.
She's pretty amazing.
She's one of the best.
She truly is.
She's right up there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's right up there at the tippity top.
That's right.
Yep.
Before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Tuesday, February 25th.
Just a couple more days of February.
More. Don't worry, it's recorded, so you can listen to it whenever you want.
Cool.
It's my gift to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
After nearly 35 years with the Sun Journal, executive editor Judy Meyer submitted her resignation. According to the Sun Journal, Meyer has been the executive editor for nearly a decade and is one of the most respected news professionals in the state. She was named Maine's Journalist of the Year in 2003, received the Spirit of Journalism Award in 2018, and was inducted into the Maine Press Association's Hall of Fame in 2021. Her last day will be Friday.
Da Vinci's Eatery is closed this week, so crews can replace the kitchen floor. The popular Lewiston restaurant looks forward to welcoming guests back on Friday or Saturday with new spring cocktails. Check out their website or Facebook page for updates.
What are we going to do without garlic knots for 4 days?
Know.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Gonna have to go to therapy.
It's a good thing I have some in the freezer. The city of Lewiston invites residents, business owners, and organizations to attend the Transformation Action Group meeting on Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to noon at the Longley School. The meeting is a chance to engage at the neighborhood level and help shape the resident-led, city-adopted vision for Lewiston's future.
And Joann Fabric and Crafts announced it will close all 800 stores nationwide, including 5 in Maine and 1 right up the road here in Auburn. The company filed for bankruptcy in March of last year and again last month. Going out of business sales will take place at all locations.
They were looking hopefully for a buyer. They had a little auction happening on Friday, but it looks like things didn't pan out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's too bad. In the weather, there's a chance of rain later this afternoon with a high of 44 and a low of 31. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 45 and a low of 29, and rain on Thursday with highs in the 40s.
In sports.
Sports.
The Bruins host the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight at 7.
That's so exciting.
Exciting.
They're back again.
That's right.
I'm excited about that. The Celtics and Raptors tip off tonight at 7 p.m. in Toronto.
And the Maine Nordiques and the NA3 Nordiques are back in action on Friday and Saturday at the Colisée in Lewiston.
Hurrah!
Yeah.
I'm going to go check them out.
Playoff hockey. Unofficially playoff hockey.
Right, because they're 1 point apart from their opponents on Friday and Saturday night.
The stinking Maryland Black Bears.
Yeah. Yep. And that's a tough team for them to beat.
It is.
Yep. They come up. They're pretty well matched with them. They come head to head a lot. So
going to be a great weekend of hockey here in the Twin Cities. Roll Nords.
Indeed.
That's your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for the podcast segment that is sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for February the 25th, shall we?
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
We're going to start off with Rashida Jones, who is 49 years old today. You know her as Karen Filippelli from The Office. She was the love interest of one Jim Halpert.
For a hot minute.
For a hot minute, yeah. And she also played Ann Perkins on Parks and Rec from 2009 to 2015.
My favorite thing she's done besides The Office is Angie Tribeca. Did you watch that?
No.
It is the silliest thing you ever saw.
Okay. I'm interested.
So silly. It's like it's a comedy. It's poking fun at criminal procedurals.
Okay.
And it's just the most absurd thing you ever saw. It's so much fun.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty absurd things.
It's absurd. I found it during the pandemic, and I was so disappointed because they only had 3 seasons of it, and it ended on a cliffhanger, and I was like, no! It's hilarious. It's so funny.
I just learned some more interesting facts about Rashida.
Oh, yeah?
She appeared in the films I Love You Man in 2009 and The Muppets in 2011.
I knew the Muppets. Yeah.
She co-wrote the story for Toy Story 4
Wow.
in 2019.
Did not know that.
And her father is Quincy Jones.
I did know that.
You did know that?
I did know Quincy Jones was her dad. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. How would I know that?
I mean, I
didn't know
they
that.
do a lot of press together, but you're not somebody who.
I don't follow.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
roll with the tide.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Yeah, her documentary, Quincy, about her father, debuted on Netflix and won the Grammy Award for Best Music Film in 2019.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Look at that.
That's
We're
pretty cool.
learning
We
things.
are learning things. She was busy in 2019.
She sure was.
Maybe that's why she didn't do another season of Angie Tribeca.
There you go. So, like, I'm going to do other stuff.
I got things. I'm busy.
Comedian Chelsea Handler is 50 years old today.
Okay.
Milestone birthday
That
for
is,
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a talk show on Netflix called Chelsea, and in 2012, Time Magazine named her one of the 100 most influential people in the world.
I buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's quite funny, too.
Carrot Top. Speaking of comedians,
Okay.
Carrot Top is 60 years old today.
Yeah?
Are you not a
60.
fan?
You know what? I'm not a fan, but his face scares me.
Yeah, he's had some work done.
Yeah, I can't. It's like he's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
I can't look at him and see the person that used to be under there, and I don't know. It freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Carrot Top has taken a lot of heat from a lot of comedians. They think he's pretty hacky. They don't like prop comedy and bop da 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 da.
But he's got a lot of money, so whatever.
Yeah. He's had a residency in Vegas for like over a decade now, I think.
He's made his mark.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who Carrot Top is.
You know who did love Carrot Top?
No.
George Carlin.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right,
I was surprised to learn that as well.
Neat.
But there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, there's a lot of people who hate Jeff Dunham because he works with puppets.
Right.
But, the guy obviously is doing okay.
I'd like to throw in a honorable mention in our famous people birthdays.
Please do.
Actor Sean Astin is 54 today.
All right. Who dat?
He was Mikey in the Goonies.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was Mikey in the Goonies, but then also he was in the whole Lord of the Rings series.
Oh.
He was Samwise Gamgee,
Okay.
Frodo's best friend.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went all the way to the top of Mount Doom or whatever it was.
He made it to the championship of the rings.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He was there the whole time.
Oh, cool.
He was a good friend.
All right.
Yeah, he was great there.
Happy birthday, Sean.
Yeah.
Talk show host Sally Jesse Raphael is 83 years old today.
I remember getting home from school, and probably I should not have been watching that show by myself. But I remember rushing home from school and being like, "Oh, I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
Sally's still on with those red glasses and that." She always had a power suit, ladies' power suit from the 90s.
The glasses were red, and they were also pretty huge.
They were monstrous.
Right?
They were half her face.
That's how she made her bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, she became a caricature.
Yes, a cartoon version of herself.
Yes. There you go.
That's right.
Those talk shows back in the day when we were growing up, they were all the rage.
They really were. So there was her, there was Maury Povich.
Yep.
not Dr. Phil, but Phil Donahue was on when I would get home from school for a long time. Every day at 4:00, I'd be like plopped down in front of the television with some kind of snack, just being like, I shouldn't be watching that. My parents aren't home because they both work, and I am Generation X.
Geraldo? Remember Geraldo?
Yeah. He was a little less controversial. I do remember learning about topics that maybe were not age appropriate for myself at that time.
Same.
From the TV vision.
Yeah. They were like a third parent.
I know they were. That's the thing with us latchkey kids.
They were like the cool uncle and aunt who teach you things.
We got an education that we weren't quite ready for.
And rounding out FPBs for February the 25th is Jack Handy. 76 years old today. If the name sounds familiar, you probably heard it on Saturday Night Live.
That's his real name, right? It's not a pen name. That's his actual name.
Yeah, that's his real name. He's a real person.
Yep.
And he actually wrote all of the deep thoughts that were shown on Saturday Night Live.
Some of those were so weird.
They were weird.
He had a good voice, though.
He did.
Yeah.
Let's share some deep thoughts with our wonderful listeners.
We got to read them a la Jack Handy. If God dwells inside us, like some people say, I sure hope he likes enchiladas, because that's what he's getting.
If a child asks, why does it rain? Tell them it's because God is crying. And if the child asks, why is God crying? Tell them, probably because of something you did.
Dad always thought that laughter was the best medicine. I guess that explains why so many of us died of tuberculosis.
I believe you should live each day as if it is your last, which is why I don't have any clean laundry. Because come on, who wants to wash clothes on the last day of their life?
It's truth.
Yeah.
Truth in those words. One way I think you can tell if you have a curse on you is if you open a box of toothpicks and they all fly up and stick in your face.
That's a dead giveaway.
It's a dead giveaway.
Yeah, you are cursed.
Definitely cursed.
And one more.
Okay.
I hope if dogs ever take over the world and they choose a king, they don't just go by size, because I bet there are some chihuahuas with some good ideas. Yeah. There you go.
Those are your deep thoughts.
Some deep thoughts, courtesy of Jack Handy. You're invited to join Seniors Plus for their annual Fill the Plate breakfast on Friday, March 21st at the Hilton Garden Inn Riverwatch in Auburn. The event will benefit the Seniors Plus Meals on Wheels program and feature American Idol finalist Julia Gagnon and former Maine legislator Margaret Craven. Reserve your spot today at seniorsplus.org. And we have the pleasure of being joined in studio by the owner of West Paris Provisions, Andelena Henderson. How are you?
Good morning. I'm awesome. I'm so happy to be here.
We are so happy to have you. Sarah and I have known Andelena for a few years now. Yeah. She used to come visit us at our old job up the street. Now she's visiting us at our better job. And we couldn't wait to get you on here.
Yeah, I was so excited.
We've been talking about it for a long time.
Thank you.
We're so glad you could come in.
We've missed you terribly. Andelena is one of our favorite humans, and you're going to find out why throughout this interview.
She'll be yours too after this.
That's right. Yes.
You'll be like, wow.
We have a whole new group of listeners for this podcast, Andelena, and some people may not know you. So could you give us a little bit of background on yourself, and then we'll get into what West Paris Provisions and so much more about you is all about.
I'd love to.
All
So
right.
my name is Andelena. I grew up in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia on the West Virginia line, and I joined the Navy very early on in high school. I made my mother sign in 11th grade, which she didn't want to.
Wow.
So I'm a Navy veteran, and right now I own West Paris Provisions, a couple of other small businesses. I'm a longtime volunteer with Veterans No Boundaries and Maine Adaptive, and happily married to a wonderful man named Brad and 4 beautiful daughters.
And 6 dogs.
6 dogs, 4 border collies, a standard poodle that weighs more than me, and a bulldog that someone likes very much, huh? I should have brought him.
Yes, we've met your bulldog and your poodle.
What's the bulldog's name?
Otis.
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 Right.
Yeah.
Otis.
Yeah,
is
Otis was my
something else.
bud. He's so cool.
He's a good boy.
I bet he and Vinny
Yeah.
would have had a good time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they would have been best friends. I know. So, Andelena, can you tell us a little bit about your experience with the U.S. Navy, why you decided to join and what you did there?
Sure. So it's sort of interesting. I grew up in a very poor family, and I'm proud of that. They were amazing people and loved us very much. But I also grew up dyslexic and with severe learning disabilities. So I knew college would be tough, and we didn't really have the money for college. And honestly, I wanted to see the world, and that's exactly what I did. So I joined the Navy. I went to boot camp in Orlando, A school in San Diego. And then I was stationed at Moffett Field in a P3 squadron, and we flew. I saw Diego Garcia, Misawa, Kadena, Yokota, Japan, Osan, Korea, loved the Philippines, a bunch of other places. And it was just an amazing experience to just be so young and see how the rest of the world is. And thank God for America, because I tell you what, we haven't made in this country. We honestly do. We live in such an amazing country. And seeing how the rest of the world lives at such a young age, it really shaped me. Like, I'm a firm believer you're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. So I've always wanted to be part of the solution and help where I can. And that means a lot to me and who I am, and also as a practicing Christian.
As a young person seeing that, do you feel like it made you appreciate more what you had, even though you grew up in a situation that maybe wasn't the best?
Right. It made me appreciate everything, because when you see how some countries like live and what they'll never have, no matter how much they work. Yes, it makes you appreciate every day. And also just seeing other people's hardships. I mean, I just lost a really good friend less than a week ago. It's heartbreaking. So every day is a blessing. I definitely appreciate what is around us and what we have opportunities for in this country. And I feel, the American dream is alive. You just have to be willing to work for it. And I do feel like I'm the American dream. I feel like my life could have went completely the other way. I had everything against me, but I did not give up. And that's one thing. Pushing 60 years old now, I'm enjoying that life that I worked so hard for. No one's going to just drop a successful business in your lap. I mean, I had no backers. I had tons of support from people that care about me, but it was my money. It was my life. So I really feel like if you want to be successful, you can do it, especially in this country.
You've done so much, truly, like you say I'm pushing 60. It's a short life. You've done so much in your short life. And one of the things that we love about you, and one of the things I think that you probably gained from your travel and from seeing other countries, is your generosity. Like, you are very successful, but you share that with other people, and you give not just your time, but your funds and your caring and your love to other people. And I think that that's such an impressive way of living your life. Like, I wish that I could figure out how to bottle that up and spread it around.
I think I'm that way because of the way I grew up. So my parents were from West Virginia, both grandfathers, West Virginia cold camps. I mean, it's sort of a tough life. I grew up to farming. Like, my family had a huge garden, and we shared with everyone. I remember we used to trade a bushel of corn for a bushel of peaches. And I watched my parents, Denny and Charlotte Pinkerton, give to all their neighbors. If somebody's car broke down and my dad knew how to fix it, and it was a neighbor, he fixed it. He didn't expect anything for it because it always comes home to you. And that's one thing that I wished people would realize in this world of narcissism. I'll just say it. When you give, you get. And give. I mean, it's a way of, anytime I'm feeling down and I go in and I volunteer somewhere, I come out feeling like $1 million. And it's like sometimes we have to turn off our own issues and look at the bigger picture. And we're all in this world together. And it's really time to start acting like it.
You give so much to Maine Adaptive, Veterans No Boundaries. You do fundraisers for local elementary schools. And we're going to talk all about that in just a bit. But you're able to do that because you run a successful business, because you put yourself out there. You're an entrepreneur. The business is West Paris Provisions. And could you tell us what West Paris Provisions is all about?
I'd love to. So West Paris Provisions is a medical cannabis shop located on Route 26 in West Paris, across the street from Dollar General. We are a true medical store. We help a lot of people. It's amazing to me who shops in med stores now. We have attorneys, we have doctors, we have nurses, we have school teachers. My favorite customer that sees us every week is a pharmacist. I mean, it's amazing to me how the stigma has been lifted. And it just amazes me as what cannabis can do for you. Like, we have people that come in that have MS, which we are having an MS fundraiser starting March 1st. So please come in and check that out. But at our store, we will work with you to see, what you need and what you don't need. Sometimes people do not want to get high from the THC. That's fine. You don't have to. We have high-dose CBDs, low-dose THC. We have something for everyone, no matter what your ailment is or what you need to medicate.
I think it can be intimidating to walk into a store not knowing you need something, but not knowing what it is. And I feel like when I walk into your store, and I've only been in once, I feel like everybody in there is kind and they are patient and they ask questions. They want to know what it is you're trying to do so that they can help you find the right product. You don't go in and have to figure it out on your own and be like, well, that looks good and that looks good. You all are really good at saying, well, this is what I would do and this is the dosage I would recommend and you should try a little of this and then add more if you need to. Like, you guys are all just very, very helpful. And I think that part of the stigma for most people is that that's not how they're used to dealing with medical marijuana or marijuana in general. Like, they're not used to that format. Yeah. And I think going in and seeing that it really is more like a boutique shop where people are there knowledgeable and willing to help is the way that we keep breaking down that stigma, like having businesses like yours.
Absolutely. And it's not about the sell to us. It's about helping the customer, getting the customer what he or she needs. And it's funny, it's one of my favorite customers brought a note from his doctor. He has a brain injury, and the doctor wrote exactly what he needed. Mm-hmm. And I just love that because the stigma is breaking down. When when physicians are sending handwritten notes in with their patients to us to help, I just feel so proud. I'm just really proud of all of us.
It's nice that the medical community is embracing marijuana as medicine, finally.
I mean, if you think about it, it's a cheaper alternative. It's safe. I mean, my husband has I can't say that word, neuropathy. Because he went through stage 4 throat cancer. I mean, one of his cancer doctors gave him less than a year to live. He is in remission now. He is doing amazing. He just has that. Say that word for me.
Neuropathy.
Thank you. Teamwork, baby. He has that. And a friend of mine that owns Maine strain cannabis, Joel's like, take this med stick home. Use it on Brad's feet. I did. Guess what? It's helping.
Oh, wow.
And it's just an all-natural, organic cannabis med stick made with coconut and cannabis and a few other magical ingredients. And it's helping him. No side effects. It's $20 for a month's supply, probably longer than that. And it's an affordable alternative to what the doctor gave my husband, which was, I think, gabapentin or something.
Ooh.
He had horrible side effects and stopped taking it a week into it.
And there are so many ways to experience cannabis now.
So many amazing companies that have so many different products. Like at West Paris Provisions, we have our own edibles line that is Belgium chocolate with RSO. RSO is Rick Simpson oil. And Rick Simpson oil is something that we used for my husband's cancer treatments. My husband, Brad, he had radiation. He had chemotherapy. We also put RSO in his feeding tube, and he used a RSO spray to spray under his tongue for pain. And my husband's also clean and sober of 27 years, so he did not fill any of his opioid prescriptions. He said no thank you to that. So he did use cannabis to get him through the pain. When he had cancer, now that he does not have cancer anymore, he only uses our CBD, organic CBD jellies for sleep.
I think the last time we saw you, Andelena, you had just put an addition onto your business.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right? And now you're expanding even more, right?
Thank you. Yes, we're so grateful. Yes, so every day at West Paris Provisions, we would turn away to 10 to 20 people, depending on which way they were going. If they were going towards Bethel, I said, go check out the jar in Bethel. If they were going towards Oxford, I'd send them someplace else. And I said, why am I doing this? So I am 90% through a adult use rec permit, and the store will be called West Paris Mercantile, and 21 plus, and you can come in without a med card and buy your cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yeah, awesome.
More for everyone.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
And for folks without a med card, you offer that service as well, right?
Yes, we do med cards on site. So we have a physician that you call and talk to, and she emails the card. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes. I think she's in Germany this week, so it's a 24-hour turnaround. But usually it's a couple of minutes. It's an amazing service.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
It's heartwarming to hear such a great humanitarian as yourself experiencing this success and helping other people along their journeys as well. Let's talk a little bit about your philanthropy, because that is such a big part of who you are.
Yeah.
Being a U.S. Navy veteran, this cause is near and dear to your heart. Can you talk a little bit about Maine Adaptive and Veterans No Boundaries?
I would love to. So Maine Adaptive is an amazing program. They have winter and summer sports. I do a lot of volunteering with the Veterans No Boundaries program. The Veterans No Boundaries program was created by two Navy veterans, Joanne and Kathy, to get the veterans out of their homes. So when you are in a wheelchair, or maybe you have severe PTSD, which a lot of us do, it's hard to just take a normal vacation. So Veterans No Boundaries, twice a year, winter and summer, bring these veterans on vacation. Our summer program, their families all meet with us at Camp Wavis and Gardner, and no matter what their ability is, we make it happen. Like my friend Karen, which I love, and she would love to come live with us sometime as well. My friend Karen, she lives in Florida, and she really doesn't do much, but with our program, she flies up. She goes skiing in the wintertime. She goes paddleboarding in the summertime.
Yay.
I think Sarah should come and volunteer with Veterans No Boundaries this summer with me.
I think so too.
Oh, I think that would be amazing.
I think so too.
Yes, we're doing it. So it gives back these amazing men and women that have served our country. Some of them are in wheelchairs because of their service. It gives them back their life. And you know what? That's the least we can do for our veterans. So that's why I have the Roundup program. I don't care what your ability is. We all can help. And you know what? Some people round up a nickel. Well, that nickel, we've given them $25,000. So every little bit helps. I've got a couple of businesses now that, I started a new job. I'm a consultant for cannabis stores. So some of those people I have been a consultant to, they're starting the Roundup program for Veterans No Boundaries as well.
Can you explain what the Roundup program is for folks who may not know?
So the Roundup program, when you're at West Paris Provisions in West Paris, or you're at West Paris Mercantile, when it opens in another month or two, you can round up your coins. So if you come in and you spend $22.50, we'll say, would you like to round up for our cause, Veterans No Boundaries, to the nearest dollar? We round up your 50 cents, we donate it to them. And we just got the Community Impact Award for our Roundup program with Maine Adaptive.
Yay.
How cool is that?
Life is good if you let it be.
I love that you offer this program to people because I feel like it can be, in Maine especially, very isolating in the wintertime.
Yes.
And even those of us who aren't impacted by PTSD or being in a wheelchair have a hard time getting out and functioning and interacting with people. I can only imagine the difficulties of trying to navigate a sidewalk or, a snow-covered parking lot. So the fact that you have a place that's safe and that people can go and they can be part of a community and be outside and interact, that's such an important part of taking care of their mental health to get through these dark winter months. Like, it's such a great program, and we're just so grateful that it's you out there doing it.
I'm grateful for it's me too, and I wished it was more. If you own a small business, if you want to volunteer, like Sarah's going to sign up
For summer. Not for skiing, but for summer.
Call Maine Adaptive. Check out Maine Adaptive's website. Sarah just did, and
it's Maine Adaptive. Yeah, you're right, front and center on the photo. It's maineadaptive.org. You can learn how to participate if you're interested. If you're a listener who wants to take part in the program, you can volunteer. There's other ways of supporting. If you just go to the website maineadaptive.org, you can check it out. You can even click the donate button.
Oh,
how about that?
That would be lovely. Do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it is a great, great program. One of our participants, Mark, I showed you guys the pictures. He is just salt of the earth, sweetest man ever. We have been working with him for 15 years. Wow. And to see him being taken out of his wheelchair and put in they're called sit skis. So he sits and we tether him and he gets to ski down a hill at Sunday River. That's freedom. That's giving back these veterans their lives. And like I said, least we can do. And it's amazing too that no matter what your disability is, it's still something you can do. Like my friend Karen, stand-up paddleboarding. So Maine Adaptive had adapted her paddleboard with a seat so she could sit and paddleboard. It's fun.
It sounds amazing.
It is.
So wintertime, there's alpine skiing, there's snowboarding, Nordic skiing, and other things, right? Like, it's a whole event weekend.
Oh, yes. I think it starts on Friday, and I think it ended Monday. It was really busy this time. It was a whirlwind of activities. One of the things I like about Maine Adaptive and Veterans No Boundaries, it brings the community together. Like the Good Food Store in Bethel, they had a ton of donations for us, so we were fed all weekend. the participants and the volunteers, for that matter, we didn't have to worry about food. It was just a great time for all. Lots of local businesses did donations for our silent auctions and our raffles. We had the Patriot Motorcycle Group come up and volunteer one day. We had the Lock Mills American Legion come up and volunteer. So it brings the community together to help these veterans that are so deserving.
When you were in the Navy, you were a cook, right?
I was, yes, and I loved it.
I feel like I remember you telling us once that you cooked food for one of these events too.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you were making big trays of food one time.
In the beginning, the first probably, 6 to 8 years, Veterans No Boundaries, I did the food along with a wonderful man named Steve and this wonderful lady named Mary. And we would lock ourselves away in the kitchen and make the food for 120 people. We don't have to do that anymore. As we've grown, we've got more donations, and even the summer program now, we have grown, and now we can afford to pay the staff at the camps we use to do the food for us. And like I said, a lot of local businesses donate as well.
I was going to say maybe that's a way that you could also volunteer for people who are like, well, I don't really know how to ski or I don't know how to paddleboard. You can always volunteer to do other things.
So you can volunteer to just drop off baked goods. I mean, no matter what, if you want to make a difference in life, you can. Yeah. Little, big, it's up to you. Just start.
Words of advice from Andelena Henderson. Good words to live by.
Yeah. And Andelena, can you tell us about some of the fundraising you do for the local elementary school?
Yeah. Oh, gosh. So our local elementary school, we have done a bunch of back-to-school drives, backpacks, school supplies. We also have outfitted the school food bank many, many times, but we're getting ready to do another drive this spring. It's a clothing drive. So what we do, we collect clothing and all sizes from babies up to adults, and we organize everything, and we have a weekend where people can show up at West Paris Provisions and pick up clothing and use their money for other things. I mean, heating oil, food. It's hard.
Laundry soap, toilet paper.
It's awful. It's just something's got to give. So we do that. So we've sent packages overseas to our service members that grew up in our community. We have done several cancer drives recently, helping people raise money that are battling cancer. We've done several fundraisers for people that have lost their homes in fires. We've done a lot of fundraisers, and it's funny when people put me on the spot and ask about it. I can't really always name them all off because sometimes they come on so fast. I feel like if you can help, why not help? Honestly, no matter what type of day you're having, someone's having a worse day. So appreciate everything God's given you.
I do want to circle back to medicinal cannabis because I think there are still a lot of people out there who may not know exactly what it's used for. You mentioned how it helped your husband. What are some of the other ailments that people are coming in for?
So for medical cannabis, I'm seeing a lot of people come in for anxiety. They're like, I'm just really having a hard time, grocery shopping, or I'm having a hard time with this, that, and the other. And just anxiety is a huge issue, and with very low doses of THC and higher doses of CBD, people are taking this little gummy, and they're like, wow, I was able to get through my workday with no pain, and it did not make me high. So sometimes people think of marijuana or cannabis, it's going to make me high. It does not have to. It does not have to make you high. Of course, that is a side effect, and some people like that. To each their own.
If that's what you're looking for, right?
To each their own. But I'm seeing people being sent in by doctors, people that are suffering from brain injuries, MS. We have the most amazing man. I'll call him Bob. He is a sweetheart. And he comes in weekly. He has this rare disease. Sadly, he has lost both legs, and he is in horrible pain. He comes in weekly to buy 9-pound hammer cannabis, and it is a strain that it's the only strain that's taken away his pain. And I guess he has a lot of lower body pain. So we ran out of that strain. I did not know he came in, and he told me this. I called my husband and I said, you need to get that back in the wheelhouse. So it's back in. So that's what he uses it for. We have people that are battling cancer, sadly. They use a lot of our RSO products. We have people that just have, back fusions. They're coming in. One of my favorite products is my W3 that I created. W3 was made for women. Men buy it a lot, too. I have a hard time keeping up making it, but it is a lube. And it is a lube for females. And I created that for women like me that had gone through menopause that still enjoy a sex life. And it does the job, need I say. So... And it helps. It helps women like me. Now, I had something funny happen a while back, and I thought I was either being set up by the state or being punked or something. It was this man. He called me several times. He claimed to be a physician, and he really was insisting I mail him some W3 and Topsum. Come to find out, I was not being punked or set up. He was a physician, and a couple of the ladies that shop at my store had knee replacements. He was somehow, I think they're a physician for PT or something. These women were wrapping their knees in the W3 and plastic wrap and going in to see him because it took away the pain during physical therapy. And he wanted some of that. Well, I explained to him he had to have a med card. So he ended up getting his med card, coming in one morning in scrubs at 8:02 and buying me out. Yes. So
you gave me some of that in one of our first visits, and I remember you saying you can use it anywhere. It's fine for pain or whatever. And I have gluteal tendonitis from going through menopause, and I put it on my hip, and it's the only way I can sleep at night. It's
Amazing.
just a little bit on my hip where that spot hurts.
And
makes such a big difference.
It's all natural. Yeah. It's coconut oil. It is organic shea butter, organic vitamin E, and cannabis. It's all natural, so it's not going to hurt you. It's non-toxic, and it's inexpensive. So that's another way. But we're seeing people come in, too, for all types of ailments. One thing that we're selling now at West Paris Provisions is medicinal mushrooms. People are microdosing. It's an amazing company called Elevate. So it's just not getting people high anymore. Right. It's actually using it with a purpose. And that makes me so happy. It's funny. A lot of sciatica. How do you pronounce that? Sciatica. A lot of people are coming in with that, and what we're finding with that is a 1-to-1 tincture. And a tincture you ingest, it's half CBD and half THC. That seems to be helping with that. So it's, what can it help with? It can help with almost anything if you give it a chance.
Sleep, relaxation.
Sleep is huge.
Yeah.
What would your advice be to someone who maybe they were prescribed cannabis, or maybe they're just a curious adult that wants to see what it can do for them?
I recommend edibles and tincture. I mean, people do smoke. If smoking is your thing, that's fine. I also recommend starting very low and slow. Like with an edible, we sell, our Baked Bliss edibles go from a 20 milligram gummy up to a 400 milligram gummy.
Whoa.
a 400 milligram gummy. Someone going through bone cancer, that's a saving grace. It's a saving grace. But someone that's new to edibles, like I have a lot of senior citizens that come in and they're like, I've never had none of that. I've never did that. Low and slow. I usually do a high CBD with a very low 2 to 5 milligrams of THC. I always recommend that they talk to their doctor. The doctor needs to be your first, especially if you do have medical issues. If you say, you know what, my sleep is off, that's not that big of a deal. Come in, we can help you. We have things that are really good for sleep, no matter if you shop in one of my stores or someone else's store. Make sure they are a true medical cannabis store in Maine. It's so many amazing stores to shop at. So make sure they are educated. They can help you. I know we'll have like a little man that comes in and my hip's killing me and he points to a 2,000 milligram chocolate bar.
Yikes.
He does not need that. He needs a 100 milligram chocolate bar and he needs to break that into 10 pieces.
Tiny little pieces.
Tiny pieces. So just talk to people, try to find your med shop, go into your local med shop, have a conversation. If they're not really willing to listen to you, it's probably not the med shop for you if you're truly looking for medication.
Yeah.
Right.
So low and slow. It's so many different avenues. I mean, from edibles we have the most amazing jar, Bungle Dutch, Down East Maine cannabis, Cloudwalk cannabis flower. This is flower that's tested, grown organically. The fastest way to squash pain is smoking, or a panic attack or anxiety is smoking. But we do have edibles out now that they're nanoed, and a nano edible it's all broken down and put back together is the easiest way. I can explain it. That hits you really fast within 5 minutes. We have drinks. It's really easy to just drink a drink. I love our highbrows. We have little 10 milligram shooters.
Ooh.
And a 10 milligram is perfect. It's a very small dose where you still can function and be safe. So all different avenues. I know we probably have anywhere from 30 to 50 vendors in our store. They all bring something different to the table. Also, too, when you're looking for a med shop, go in, ask them about their testing. And in our shop, a lot of our products have a little QR code. You scan, you can get all the tests. It's sort of fun. When you go to a med shop, it's just not smoking anymore. It's tinctures and tablets and edibles and the sky's the candy. It's also Cheez-Its and salty snacks and nuts, mainly gummies. Has the most delicious cinnamon honey pecans. They are just delicious. So, yeah.
Yeah. And
You get your sweet craving and your medicine at the same time.
Life is good.
Yeah,
Life is good.
I do want to touch on CBD because I know a lot of people are curious about CBD. Can you tell us what that is and some of its benefits?
Yes. So, first of all, do not buy CBD off the internet. CBD is not all equal. The CBD at West Paris Provisions, it's organic. It is tested. It is from the state of Maine. So that's the first off. Don't be buying it at the gas station. Go into a true med shop. CBD is something anyone can take. Otis, my bulldog, he loves his East Coast CBD dog cookies. He has bad hips. He's 10. So, with our customers, I had this nicest man come in a couple of weeks ago. He is a truck driver. He has never used cannabis. He does not want to get high. He has to pass his drug test. And I sold him our CBD. Our CBD is organic hemp. It does not get you high. And it took care of his pain. He was experiencing, what's that word again?
Sciatica.
Thank you.
I got you, girl.
And that's what he was using it for. So in it is CBD hard candies. It's sugar-free CBD hard candies. It's CBD tincture. It's CBD flower that you could smoke. It's CBD vapes. So the sky is the limit with CBD as well. And it's a product whether a lot of people are coming in using CBD for stomach issues now. The CBD I think, is the big deal right now with stomach issues.
Interesting.
I heard you say dog treats, and I went to your website, and now I need to get some dog treats for my super anxious dog.
They are great.
Did they work really good?
They do
yes.
work. Yeah,
poor little donkey.
especially on trash day at my
Yeah.
house because my dogs go absolutely bananas.
Bonkers.
So we do give them some CBD on Mondays, which are trash days, and it helps a lot.
Yeah. Well, yesterday they were doing snow removal on our street. Oh. And when I got home, I could see that they had been in the driveway. They had used our driveway as a turning point. And when I got home, he was just at like a level 11 from having people out there all day. I was like, oh my gosh,
You won't believe what happened.
You can't. They were here all day, making so much noise. Like he was just beside himself. So he needs a little something to take the edge off. I think.
I think that's one thing that I really do enjoy cannabis for. I am sober. At one time in my life, I did have an issue with alcohol, and I thank God that I don't have that issue anymore. And I see alcohol and these street drugs now. I mean, especially in our area, the street drugs are really horrendous. People are losing their life. I think cannabis just chills you out. I mean, people are coming into our store a lot now, and they are getting themselves off opiates, or they're getting themselves off of alcohol, and they're using cannabis to do that. And that makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's even some people that have come to us with a note from the doctor because they're being checked into a rehab, and they're being told what they can bring with them to the rehab, cannabis-wise, to help them.
Yeah, the withdrawal symptoms alone of that. Yeah.
And I didn't realize this, Andelena, and correct me if I'm wrong, but marijuana isn't even a thing. That's just a made-up word that I believe the government used to describe cannabis.
Absolutely, yeah, when they were attacking cannabis for their political reasons. Absolutely.
Yeah, the main office of, is it the main office of cannabis, or I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they're working on now, but I know they have their hands full at OCP. Yes.
Yeah, so there was a push to replace every reference to marijuana with the word cannabis, because that's actually what it is. That's the name of the flower, correct?
That's the plan.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I know working closely with the OCP at the state level, I do not see the word marijuana much. I see cannabis a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely, the stigma is leaving fast.
I do want to mention, too, that when people shop at your store, they're not only supporting a local business, West Paris Provisions, but you also, a lot of the products you carry are local as well.
Absolutely. We carry High Tide, Bake Bliss, Nano Retreat, Cloud Walk, Jar, Bungle Dutch. We at West Paris Provisions is very important, not just to support ourselves, but support everyone. And when you support everyone, when you're at the top and you're lifting up other people, you're blessed.
This is awesome.
We're so glad she's back.
I know. It's so great to see you again. Is there anything else about West Paris Provisions that you would like our listeners to know, or Veterans No Boundaries or Maine Adaptive?
Gosh, Veterans No Boundaries is just an amazing program. And if you are a veteran and you're sitting around and you're bored and you need something to do, pull out the laptop, Maine Adaptive. Look them up, give them a call, sign up. If you are a business owner and you would like to help Maine Adaptive Veterans No Boundaries out, call them up. Do the Roundup program. Change is a pain in the bum. It is. So guess what? It's been great. We don't deal with change at all. I say 99% of our customers are rounding up. And it's pennies. You're not going to miss your pennies.
Right.
And as far as West Paris Provisions goes, come check us out this summer. Or check us out anytime. Yeah. But this summer, we're going to have lots of things going on in our parking lot, other vendors, a hot dog stand, just fun stuff. Just trying to enjoy life as much as possible and get back to such a wonderful community that we live in.
And you can find West Paris Provisions online at westparisprovisions.co. Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston-Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local and position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at LlydiaMediaLLC.com. Before we let you go, we like to end our interview with 3 random questions.
Oh, I love these. Okay, I'm ready.
We have a fan of 3 random questions, Sarah. How great is that?
No one else likes this game.
Oh, they love it. They love it. But Andelena's done it before, and she's missed it just as much as we've missed her.
Oh,
so Andelena, yes. I will ask question number 1. We know how busy you are. When you are able to relax, what's your favorite way to relax?
My favorite way to relax is in the morning. My husband and I do Bible study. We lay in bed. He brings me my cup of coffee in bed every morning. He is a keeper. We lay in bed and we do a Bible study and we pray about our day. And that's my favorite time. And then I hit the ground running about 5:30, 6 a.m., ready to go, because it's a busy life. It's a great life, but it's busy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
Good
right.
answer.
Sarah, what do you got?
Obviously, you love your work. You love what you do.
I do. Well, it's hard. I mean, I don't like all those permits and paperwork from the state. That's a pain in the bum.
All right. So let's pretend for a day that you could work in any fictional workplace. It could be a movie, a book, a television show, any fictional workplace. Where would you work?
Oh, my goodness. I could work anywhere in a fictional place.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd probably be on that show, The Equalizer, with who is she, Queen
Latifah.
Oh yeah, I'd be her sidekick. We'd be go taking down some bad people. I'd have me a really nice. Well, I won't go there. No, I'd be doing good.
You'd be equalizing.
I'd be
That's right.
equalizing. We need more of that in this country.
We sure do. Absolutely.
Too much corruption.
I love
Not enough good people.
Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth?
All right, Andelena, final question. If you could have dinner with anyone from the past or the present, who would it be and why?
My dad, Denny Ray Pinkerton, and he was the greatest father ever. Of course, he used to take me out of school to run moonshine in high school. Now, come on, I'm almost 60, so this was It's a long time ago.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. He was such a good father. I mean, we did not have much. The first house my father bought us didn't even have an indoor bathroom. And he worked 7 days a week to support us. He had a full-time job. He did welding on the weekends. And he bought us our first house and paid cash. I think it was $1,500. And he worked. And I watched his work ethic, and I watched how he helped everyone in our community. We didn't have money. We didn't really have anything, but we still helped people. So if I could have dinner with anyone, it would be my dad, Denny Ray Pinkerton.
Great answer.
Yes.
We just knew she was going to have outstanding answers, right? Yeah.
We really did.
Those are, yeah. I don't think we could have predicted any one of those. But
life is good. You just got to let it be and be thankful for everything. It's just, yes. And I'm so thankful to be here again.
Yay.
We are thankful to have you here, and we've missed you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We want to thank our sponsors for today, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, you can email Pam at lydiamediallc.com. westparisprovisions.com. And don't forget, folks, if you'd like more information on West Paris Provisions, go online to westparisprovisions.co.